Hello everyone, this is Rahul from Opus. Here we are going to discuss about how to construct a face, or rather we say a facial discussion about facial anatomy, and how we can step by step in do certain from basic shapes how we can develop a complex face like this. Most people falls under the trap of going into the details at the very first, but here we will learn how to construct a face from basic shapes to more advanced and complex shapes so that it finally gives me the impression of a human face. So let's start with to first you shall always think of creating like two blocks, one of a circle and one of a tapered shape like this. Okay, so this gives you a overall idea of how your face is going to look like. Okay, so after you have this, you can then tapered out the necessary areas where suppose I am tapping out the chin. Okay, then roughly give the area where the eyes are going to be. Suppose this is the place, the nose, just plain and simple lines, no details. Okay, the nose itself, suppose from here to here, and suppose from this place. Always remember that there is a certain amount of space in the forehead itself, and then one line which depicts the separation of the lips. After you got this, then you remember that if we extend this line, the line between this nose ends and the eyes, which gives our rough idea of where the ear shall be. So here we can like understand that the ear is going to be somewhere here. Okay, so here we have certain amount of understanding of how our face is going to look like. From there we can start giving some amount of details of how the internal structure of the face is going to look. So I'm drawing now. I have started to draw the other details of the uh, face itself. So here you see that our nose looks a little shorter, so I will just going to extend it a little. So see, I'm not giving lots of details for the nose itself because it is we will do from basic shapes to complex shapes, and then just to figure out how the eyes shall look like, and we will draw the eyes in just plain and simple shapes, just the shape itself. Okay, then I can go for the lips. So see, our face is starting to build up and we are having some amount of idea about that how our face is going to look like. After we got this, then we can go for some details about the eyebrows. We can give the eyelids, the eyeballs now. Okay, then you can go for some other details of the nose itself. Suppose we have this has a nudge here, and suppose like this. All right, then we can extend the lips to some extent, and this can slowly help you construct the necessary features of the face. Do not worry about like how the likability is. Presently you shall only focus that whether you are able to construct a face from scratch or not. Okay, so after that you can give certain features like details of the uh, ear, like you see. After this you can think of the structure of the face, and then after you have all this, give the rough indication of the neck itself. Okay, and then you can think of how his hairstyle shall be. So we can consider something. We'll go after the hairstyle at the last, but let's just figure out the entire structure first. Okay, so we will erase the unnecessary lines, constructional lines that we have done, so that we can give details of the face itself. So this is mainly a cleanup that we would require after the construction of the face. Then after this, you can start giving certain amount of shades and certain amount of uh, constructional uh, strokes, which indicates the surface of the uh, face itself. So you see, I'm trying to give certain shades at certain places, which gives me the surface, helps me make the facial features, the features of the head much more prominent. All right, so this also uh, helps us construct the face and give that realistic 3D impression. All right, so here I might for the like the shading itself, it would require certain amount of strokes that has to be placed at certain places of the face to bring out its structure. So as you see, you have to understand where and how much stroke you shall give so that the entire face is understandable. Do not give lots of details which would later be difficult for you to manage. So in this way, you can construct a face which would be quite convincing in nature, and it will help you understand human anatomy especially for the face itself, in a much more deeper and in-depth manner. So once you understand how to construct the face with various basic structure, you would be able to draw any human face wherever required. So you might require to draw human faces in various exercises or various questions. So if you know how to do it, just starting from the beginning with various, that is basic shape itself, it will help you remember and construct the face at various angles possible. So I will just give certain strokes for the ears. So you see, every stroke that I give, it is actually to make the structure of the face much more prominent. It is not about realistic rendering, it is just to create the structure and help the onlookers understand how the face is actually, where and how are the muscles are. So once you have that idea in your head, like where to give how much stroke, you would be able to construct the face at other angles too. So that's why it is very important to understand the basic structure. Now you see almost our face construction is almost done with certain amount of structural lines, and then you can consider putting the hair, which can be given at the last, and it also depends upon the kind of hairstyle you want to put across this face or across this character. So that will also depend from person to person. But you see, for the hair also I am using some directional lines, which also gives that impression of how the face or how the flow of the hair is actually. Okay, so it is slightly different from the treatment that we used for the face. So remember, whatever lines, how you put the lines creates a dramatic impact on how your drawing shall look like, or how your drawing is perceived. So be careful about where and how you are putting the lines and in which directions, and how is it helping your drawing, and also the communication of the subject itself. So after you see I have done the basic flow of the hair, then I'm just giving some rough edges to make understand, to give the likability, or the bring out the effect of the hair itself. So now you see I have a man's face with all the details, as much details and possible, with all the facial details. And in this way you can draw other faces, you can draw your own portrait and various other faces of various other people. But first you have to figure out their basic facial structure, and this way you can easily draw portrait or various humans faces or any faces you want. But this is the process, a general process that is followed to create a human face. Never start with too much like with the eyes and other details. Always follow this process of creating the face from bottom up approach, that is from basic shape to various other details that is of the face itself, like the lips, nose, eyes, eyeballs, ears, etc. So I hope this lesson helps you understand how to construct a face from basic to advanced level. Thank you.